So what's going on here? So what we see is with these like Taylor Lorenz, right? She worked for the New York Times and the Washington Post, right? She is this, grew up with privilege, as they say. And she's a champagne socialist. I think more than that, though, I think you got to start to realize that these people, like Taylor Lorenz, she's just one of them, but they're more than just champagne socialists. These are actual revolutionaries. They're communist revolutionaries, right? Because only a communist revolutionary would endorse the things she endorses and say the things that she says. These are dangerous people. These are Bolsheviks. These are dangerous people. From Colin Rugg, Piers Morgan shreds Taylor Lorenz after she said she felt joy after United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was executed in New York City. Let's take a look. Whatever you think of the CEO or that company, whatever, this is the road to lunacy. This thinking will release rivers of blood down your streets. We know that because we have history books.
I do believe in the sanctity of life. And I think that's why I felt, along with so many other Americans, joy, unfortunately, because it feels like.
Seriously?
I mean,
joy
I
in a
guess
man's
I would say
execution?
maybe not joy, but certainly not empathy. Because again,
we're watching the footage. How can this make you joyful? This guy's a husband, he's a father, and he's been gunned down in the middle of Manhattan. Why does that make you joyful?
Thousands of Americans that be murdered. So are the tens of thousands of Americans, innocent Americans, who died because greedy health insurance executives like this one push policies of denying care to the most vulnerable people. And the many millions of Americans that have watched people that I care about suffer and in some cases die because of lack of health care.
So should they all be killed then? Should they all be killed, these healthcare executives? Would that make you even more joyful?
No, that would not.
But why not?
And,
why are you laughing?
I think because it wouldn't fix the system.
You seem to find the whole thing hilarious.
I find your question funny.
A bloke's been murdered in the street. I don't find it funny at all.
I don't find it funny that tens of thousands of Americans die every year and because they are denied life-saving healthcare from people like the CEO. Now, I want to fix the system. You're right. We shouldn't be going around shooting each other with vigilante justice. No. I think that it is a good thing that this murder has led to America, or really the media elites and politics.
Yeah, you can't have it both ways. I'm sorry, you just can't. She is a violent revolutionary. And I think there's a terrifying number of them in the media. These are people that have gone through expensive universities and they've been radicalized by radical professors. These are people who have been radicalized in educational institutions and they've gone out into the world and they've taken it with them, right? And they're everywhere. I think there's a terrifying number of Taylor Lorenz's in every institution. I think genuinely terrifying. Like, she's backtracking now because she's outside of her bubble and she's been asked some tough questions nobody in her bubble is going to ask her, right? So now she's backtracking a little bit. She realizes what a psychopath she looks like. But I'm sorry, she's already taken the mask off. We can see who she is. All right, these are the people cheering as the guillotine blades fell in the French Revolution. These are the people, all right, that will cheer when they hang the landlords, right? She's exposed herself. We know what she thinks now. And again, I think there's a terrifying number of these people out there. It's been a long time that radical communists, revolutionary communists have taken over the institutions, certainly the universities, the colleges, right? And they've been pumping this stuff out. And there's a lot of these people. There's a lot of them, right? This is extremism, right? This is the extremism this is who they should be concerned about. Far left extremism. Because is it every Democrat voter? Of course not. It's a fringe of the Democrat Party, but it's millions of people. It's millions of people. What is the KKK? When it's down to about 300 people in the United States now, right? The real extremism that people need to be worried about is this. It's her. It's in front of everybody's face. There's millions of them. Anyway, let's continue.
Politicians in this country paying attention to this issue for the first time. You mentioned you couldn't understand why somebody would feel this reaction when they watched a CEO die. It's because you have not dealt it sounds like, with the American healthcare system in the way that millions of other Americans have.
I've dealt with the healthcare system in various ways in America. I don't think it's perfect by any.
It's not that the guy just keeled over with a heart attack. He was assassinated in the street. He was shot in the back by an assassin. He was murdered in the street. Okay, he didn't have a motorcycle accident, right? I'm sorry, Taylor Lorenz, you've taken your mask off. We've seen that you're a psychopath. We've seen that she's Antifa, right? She's one of the hang the landlords crowd, right? She's one of the gotta break a few eggs to make an omelet crowd, right? But the few eggs is a few million people. It's a mask off moment, right? And I'm telling you, she's not the only one. There's lots of them. There's millions of them. Let's continue.
But the idea that I would view it as something.
Have you been denied life-saving treatment?
The idea that I would view it as something joyful that a man who's just a healthcare executive, has been executed in the street, I find completely bizarre.
Yeah, a civilized person doesn't do that, right? And of course, she's talking about the system. It's always the systems. Okay. I'm not saying that everything is perfect with U.S. healthcare, just as I'm saying certain things are certainly not perfect with Canadian healthcare, right? But when you go on to the point, when you justify assassinating people, okay, well, for one thing, you don't have a right to talk about democracy anymore. That's out the window, right? You've proven yourself to be a violent revolutionary at that point, a terrorist. How is this person, it's right in front of everybody's nose. Have you seen Joy Reid? Right, have you seen the people outside the Daniel Penny trial? Right, threatening to murder white people for revenge. It's right in front of everybody's nose. This is the extremism right here. It's the far left extremism. Hers is the face of it. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.